Alright, welcome to Okie Built Autos. I just got another transmission in. I sold the one that I just got done rebuilding for another project of mine. But unfortunately that vehicle's engine went bad. And I don't want to deal with the engine itself. So I went ahead and sold it. Now I got me another transmission in. Supposedly this transmission has already been built once before. The fluid does not look all that great in it. I do not know how many miles are on this at all. And it looks like he has his alignment pin right here still attached to the transmission. So he's going to probably end up having to get another one of those. There is fluid and whatnot inside the connector for the wiring harness, so the wiring harness does need to be replaced. And it also looks like they were replacing the inlets and outlets for the transmission cooler lines. So I'm going to have to get me another one of these or go to AN Fittings, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. All the different sockets that you need for this. These right here, basically the sockets that you need to do this: a 15, a 13, a 10, and an 8. And the other one is a Torx 50 Plus bit. You have to get the Torx 50 Plus. You cannot use a regular Torx 50 because of the spline here is thicker on the Plus. Grab the 15 millimeter socket. Looks like he had a plug in the back end. Throw that down there. Grab your O-ring. It's got the regular truck servo, which is what I expected. I've actually got another transmission pan down here for other parts. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and transfer all these bolts to it. Mainly try to keep this right here for my sockets and whatnot. This right here is garbage. I can tell you this is a harder wiring harness to get out. Just going to go ahead and break it off. Dump out the fluid in this thing. Throw all my seals everywhere. If y'all can see the color of this fluid, well, y'all will actually see what the inside of the pan looks like whenever I open it up. Push on back over here. Get that thrown in there. Grab 13mm socket. This does have the drain plug. The transmission that I just sold also has a drain plug on it. And don't worry about the torque converter, not torque converter, but the bell housing bolt. I'm going to go ahead and remove that later on. There we are. Cork gasket, nice. Okay. We got the correct filter for this transmission. Right over there. Here's what the inside of the pan looks like. Not too bad, honestly. Got some metallic stuff on the actual magnet, which is expected. Throw that in the garbage. Go and grab a small flathead. Put your clip back on. 10mm. Now you can actually get the pump out without taking off the valve body. Go. Throw that off to the side. It is not getting reused. I never reuse them anyways. Get rid of that gasket material. I cannot see what y'all see right now, so I'm sorry. There we go. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing here. Go ahead and pull this a little bit closer. Yep. Grab the 8mm. Looks like I forgot to pull off the detent. It's a 13mm. Grab your 8. Now those 8mm have to go back in that same spot. All right. And the verdict is, this plate is good. Caught it just in time. It is starting to beat through, but luckily I can still use this one. I just need to put in a rubber check ball, which I always do on the second gear. Gasket actually came off that time. That hardly ever happens. Throw this wiring harness in the garbage. And see if I can get this off without ripping the gasket and leaving it on the case. And we did just that. These filters here look pretty good. I'm not going to reuse them either way. This is the newer style, noted by the CV here. And you should also have a VB for valve body. Grab your spring. Second gear accumulator. Come on. This one seems to be pretty worn out, so I'm going to have to replace this one. Or just block it off. Come on. Yeah, there's just excessive amounts of play in this. If y'all can see how much that's wiggling back and forth. That's just way too excessive. The pin is nice and tight in the bore though, so the piston or the accumulator here is the only thing that needs to be replaced. I do believe I have another one already, so I'll throw that in the trash. Grab my 13mm again. Remove the parking brake. Remember, you want to move the parking brake lever all the way back towards the back end of the transmission and turn the output shaft until it locks into place. If you fail to do that, you will bend this rod and you'll be in a world of hurt. Don't forget about your check balls right here. You don't have to deal with that check ball if you block off this by stacking two of these pistons or these accumulators on top of each other and put a small spacer, I think a 40 thousandths thickness is what you want to put in there. Move the transmission off to the side. Grab the 8mm. Let's check out our Ford accumulator. This was rebuilt, but I'm betting that it's the old style accumulator on the inside. But I'm right. Come on out. This right here should have been replaced with an aluminum one, because it likes to crack right in this area. Throw my pin back in there. Okay. You want to go through here and check your valves. See if they move back and forth. Apply pressure to them. Make sure that they are moving freely. This one right here is actually missing. It looks like a spring. Yeah, this side right here is actually missing a spring in it. So I'm going to have to replace that. Alright, everything else seems to check out. I do not know if these valves are new here or solenoids. And judging from the color of the ends of them, I will say these are brand new. And now I'm going to throw this off to the side. I'm not going to take off the switch. I can tell you that it is the sealed kind. And I just dropped another one of these. It goes right here. It actually goes in this way. Just like that. I just put the valve body inside of the pan, the oil pan for the transmission. Put this bad boy around. Empty the accumulator. All fluids. Throw more steels on the ground. Like that. Pull it out. You want to check to see if it's cracked here. Either way, this is getting replaced with aluminum. Scotch right in here. Drain out my filter a little bit more before I throw it in the trash. Because I don't want this getting in the garbage. There's a facility here that I take my fluids to get properly disposed of. Unfortunately, O'Reilly's does not do that. They will do it for engine oil and engine oil only. They do not do transmission fluid. I wish they did. It'd make my life a lot easier. Alright, there we go. Get that cleaned up a little bit. Alright. Grab our 13. It is missing the retainer plate. These were not double gasketed, so they just used the regular O-rings. I'm right here where the filter goes. Spin this around so you can see where I'm at. Just pry right here between it. Ooh, almost forgot the linkage here. I don't want that falling in. All right, this one, there it goes. So this one wants to be difficult. That tells me is that they did replace the bushings here, but they did not size it. I say that because I did not remove the torque converter lockup ring. That's why it wasn't coming off. Gotta take that off before you can remove it. There we go. Pump off to the side. Let it drain out a little bit. Knock the 2/4 band loose. Come on. Can't really see what's going on in there. There we are. Move your band anchor. Now the whole thing can come out. This gasket actually came out in one piece. It does not get reused. The 2/4 band can be reused. I can reuse this band. Move that off to the side. Clean up my oil mess that I've got going on here. Pretty normal for a transmission teardown. Another reason why I have my tools inside this case made for my parts washer. All right, flashlight, snap ring pliers, gotta find the actual open end of the snap ring. I'm trying not to get in y'all's way. Come on. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? All right, got it out without losing it this time. Well, that's a little odd. All right. So they got the old style washer in here. Check your hub out here for wear. If you feel any rough spots on it, you should replace this hub. And it's pretty smooth from what I can feel. Bearing has some wear marks on it. Check all your teeth here for wear. Give them a wiggle. I'm actually going to lower you down. That should be good for you. Throw that off to the side. Pull out the sun shell. And this one is a hardened sun shell, so I can reuse this sun shell as well. I can tell from the coloration of the splines right here how it's all blued out. If I clean this up, you'll probably see it more pronounced on this side. The sun gear itself, you want to check for wear in the teeth here on both sides. This right here splines into the sun shell itself, and this goes into the lower roller. This one looks to be good. I should have another one anyways. Next up is our center support. Find our snap ring. One thing I do not like seeing right now is that the snap ring is not holding in the case silencer. Alright, there's that. Came out nice and easy, so that's a good sign that the case is good. See if I can pull out this center support. Come on out. Output shaft. Alright, there we go. There's the output shaft. You want to check these areas here, and also here for any kind of wear. These are where this right here is not actually where anything rides, but these specific spots right here is where the bushings ride. And you also have an O-ring on the inside of here that you should also replace. It keeps oil from coming out of the yoke. Pull out our rear planetary gear, and this one needs to be replaced. If you can see the wiggle on it, that is bad. You should not have any wiggle. And if you put a feeler gauge in between here and here, you should have no more than 20 thousandths. And every one of these is bad, so the guy that had bought my transmission made a good choice, because this right here would have cost him. So I gotta throw that piece away and buy a new one. Interesting, alright. There's our wavy steel here. We got a couple of clutches here and steels. Really the only one that I want to keep here is my wavy. I'm going to go ahead and keep them all anyways, just to have spares. Where do I want to throw them? I don't want to throw them anywhere that's going to get lost, that's for sure. Yeah, these clutches actually look pretty decent. I'd say that they're almost new. But either way, they're going in the trash. So it really does not matter. Make sure your lower roller works. It should rotate clockwise, but lock up counterclockwise. Alright, this has got to be replaced as well. This right here is probably the cause of the planetary gear going bad, so I get to replace this as well. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and keep my bearings just as replacements for other builds. And the last thing that you have down here is the return spring for the lower reverse, and also the case silencer or anti-clunk spring. How you get this out is with this tool here. Dump this out. Try to clean up as much as I can for the rest of the tear down. Alright, here we go. This goes in the trash. Accumulator goes in the garbage as well. Check out our reverse drum. These clutches look pretty new as well. They did get this one in correctly. And your top plate. I am going to reuse these steels as they are. And I can already see that the reverse drum is warped. I don't even need the straight edge put on it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways. Yeah, she's warped a little bit. That side's actually good. That side not so good. And that side is good. Interesting. But either way, this needs to get replaced. I generally replace them anyways. I'm going to go ahead and take off the return spring. Find the snap ring, there it is. Come on. Getting ahead of myself. Everyone's like, why is it not coming off? Well, those I did was compress the spring. They are. Turn spring. And apply piston. Replace your lip seals, outer and inner. You do not want to skip that. Throw my planetary gear down here, my little pan. Looks like the transmission's almost done draining over here. Get rid of this nastiness. Go. Do that. Reverse drum goes in the trash. Input drum. There goes the washer, the bearing. The washer is usually stuck in there until after I get it on here, and then it usually falls down. Find the open area. They did put the load springs in. Come on. I think want to come out. There it goes. That way I don't lose them. These actually look like they're in good shape. And what we have in here is regular clutches. Okay. I kind of wondered if it was Z-Pack or not when I first looked at them. They have the right color. And again, I'm going to reuse these steels. Grab your apply plate. Got another snap ring to pull out. Grab my big screwdriver with my notch in it. And pull it on out. There we go. Doesn't want to come out. There it goes. The end of it. Okay. Come on out. All right, we have an old one. Pull this apart. Oh yeah. Yeah, this one's stuck. There it goes. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it has completely worn all the way through. This thing was about to go out. I mean, in a bad way. And now watch. This one is actually going to be good. If I can get it off of here. Look at that. Pristine. You can even still read the lettering here. Like I said, the top one is always good. It's that bottom one that gets you every time. Throw all this back together so I don't lose anything. Actually, I'll just throw it in there just like this. Like I know where it all goes. Clutch. Steels. Now one thing you gotta be careful of when rebuilding these is making sure that your steels are the same thickness. They make 3 different thickness steels. Now right here I got the apply plate, and this right here should be a wavy steel, and this is wavy, as you can see. Why they call it a wavy steel. This is right here is actually the one I lose every time. I buy one just about every single transmission that somehow or another it comes up missing. I wish I knew how it comes up missing, but it does. And surprisingly, the selectable shim here did not come off, and this one's a 70. Then you got your engine brake clutches here and steels. Only thing left to do is compress the spring and take off the snap ring right here, and also take out your seal. Replace this. Spin this guy around. Oh, darn it. Had it just right, too. Lock her down and press the spring. It doesn't have to go down a whole long ways down. I think just maybe an 1/8 of an inch is good. And of course this one likes to bend on you. I might actually have to move my arms out a little bit. That is preventing me from getting this out. Use my little notched end here to try to get these out. There it goes. Like I said, this thing likes to bend on you. Pull out your return spring. Selectable washer just fell. There's a selectable washer. Another return spring. Forward bolted piston. Check it against this. This is pretty loose, so I bet you that they had a slipping 3rd and 4th gear. Yeah, this right here should not go back in just like that. I mean, that's wore out. Grab our pump. Also, don't forget that you have a O-ring right down here at the bottom. It'll be green. You want to replace it as well during your rebuild. And it does not look like there's a whole lot of clutch material on the walls of this thing. Down here at the bottom, it looks pretty good. It's not all chewed up like my last one was, so I had to actually buy a whole new input drum due to that issue. Put the input drum into my parts washer so I can get it out of my way. Move the case out of my way. Get some more of this fluid out of my way. I no longer need my snap ring pliers for this part. Put this bad boy around. Pull out your filter. Throw it in the garbage because your rebuild kit comes with a new one along with the O-ring here. .13mm. Come on. There it goes. Throw your pump bolts into your parts. You'll want to check this area over here for wear and see if it's level or not. If it is not level, you need to have it machined or take a flat file to it. The bushings appear to be new, so I'll go ahead and keep these bushings the way they are. Got a little bit of rust on the shaft, and inside your pump itself, you'll want to go ahead and take this thing out. Go. Now I sometimes replace the rotor because it does like to crack in between these areas here. And it looks like that the torque converter on this one was going in pretty far. If you can see the wear marks right here. That's how far down it was going, from here to here. So we had good connection between the torque converter and the pump. Put this off to the side. Grab your vanes. Fluid's kind of warm here because the transmission was sitting in the sun. It was about an hour drive is what the customer said. I should actually pry against the rotator here instead of prying on the aluminum area over here. Now I'm going to have to end up flat filing this whole thing. Should have an inner and outer spring. The last one that I did not have that. And you'll also want to replace your seals here. There's also an O-ring under here to replace as well. Take out your pivoting pin and look for wear. On this side here generally is where you'll see it. If there's wear, you need to replace this pin. Now down inside this hole here, which is where the pin came from, is another spring. You do not want to lose that spring. And you also want to check for wear on the hub here, or this area here where the slide ride's on. And this bearing here needs to be replaced. It has significant wear on it. Throw that off to the side. Now I'll go clean all this up and put it all back together. I will see y'all on the next one. If y'all liked the content today, please like and subscribe and also comment. Thank you.